Alright, since yesterday's video went so well, let's do the same model. A little story time, followed by a new observation I had today while sitting here having my coffee. Okay, this is how pattern recognition works, okay? I was a professional problem solver for 11 years doing data parsing in Notepad. Trying to reverse engineer from logs what happened, why it failed, and then try to replicate it in the lab. And I don't know, I was pretty good at my job. Speaking of jobs, I think I'm good for a job. I think I'm kitchen bound. Well, whatever, job's a job. I heard, I was talking to the guy and he was saying that June, everyone's that's when the hairdressers are opening. June 17th or something. But between now and then, if anything goes wrong, or any spike, like Mother's Day happened, and that one day caused a big spike of cases of this, COVID-19. You can spell COVID with the Roman numerals on the diagonal in 19 steps if you start at the 69. What can I say? So, I don't know. People were saying July 1st for restaurants. I don't know, man. September. Imagine September. March 14th till September off. I feel like I'm in school again. But anyway, so yesterday I was talking about resupplying, and resupplying meant I needed to find dirt. So I found dirt. I found dirt at the Home Hardware on Bankin' First. I needed Pro Mix. So I got 4 of these lovely babies. 4. And grass seed. And walked my ass all the way back. Anyway. If I'm going to Bankin' First, you gotta go to Bankin' Second, and if you're at Bankin' Second and it's almost at Bankin' Third, then you might run into Compact Music, the record store. Remember how I said not a long time ago, but since the closures of stuff, I've been kind of listening to new music, and I've been listening to a lot of electronica music and old kind of I don't know, just random YouTube playlists of just techno shit, let's say. And no, I'm really respecting Chemical Brothers. I like their album No Geography from 2019. I think the Little Other Babe would love this album. So anyway, so I said to myself, there was that song that kept popping up and I loved it. It was called Out of Control. And I said, can't wait for record stores to open because I want the album that has Out of Control on it. And I've ordered all the albums. And the door opened. I literally was stunned. I pushed it and it opened and I was like... Took a minute to just be I'm in a record store. Then I just bust a C, trying to find Chemical Brothers. Can't find any Chemical Brothers. There's some C's, but I was like, there's no way he has a bin of Chemical Brothers, right? So I was like, Walked to the end where I found some stuff I got last time, and the only thing I had in my mind walking into the record store was Chemical Brothers. So I walk in there, and I went back, and I'm like, okay, let's just go to the front. And I had stuff to do. I was meeting somebody, and as I'm walking out, I look up, and there's the album I want. You can see it in this list of vinyl. It is now the largest vinyl I own. So I pick it up, and I wander over to the front and I say, "Dear sir, do you have this in Not Amazing Awesome Edition?" He goes, "Yeah, there's a crate for that. Let's go check it out." Oh, okay, so he checks it out. We open, oh, there it is. Sure enough, they actually had a Chemical Brothers section, and it's got 2 albums in it. One of them I've seen from the playlist, the cover, so I know what the cover is. I know the song that I like. The other song I like is on that album. So I just I'm holding this hefty beast of a behemoth of an album. There's a DVD in there. It's got 2 different unreleased cuts of Out of Control, 20-minute remixes and everything. It's clear vinyl, but it kind of looks like the color of sap before it turns to maple syrup. It's kind of like that. It's clear vinyl, but it's got that gold tinge to it. Unrefinedness, crude. Anyway. So I go what are you going to do then? I said, I want this, but you don't have it. And I'm like, this is cool, I'll take this. It's make me a deal. Doesn't hurt to ask. And he's like, if you get both, I'll give you 20% off. And I go like, okay, 20%. Okay, so basically, if I get both, you're basically throwing in this one for free if I get this one. In my mind, free album. I'm like, sure, why not? I didn't even have time to look at them. I didn't look at, I knew this is amazing. I didn't look at the detail. I'm like, boom, in and out. I had to get out of there once you get albums. So, I get my dirt. Now I got, you know how heavy this is? So now I have this wax in this cardboard casing with another wax and 4 bags of dirt and grass seed walking like, oh, like a pack mule across town, back to home. Get home, my buddy, and we gotta like read them and whatever, and it turns out they're really special. Yeah, so this one is the one, I don't know what it's called. Further. Hey, look. Wonder what that looks like. Maybe we'll have to edit it beside it. Anyways. This one? Apparently, it's a numbered copy. A hand-numbered copy. So it's literally a one-of-a-kind unique. And of course it's a D out of an M, right? I have to have a copy. This is my DM. Roman number 500 is D. And 1000 is M. That's really cool. Not only that, but this is a 2010 album that they put finally back on wax, and it is the coolest shade of clear translucent green that I have ever seen. I mean, and it is pumping. So the bass works really well. I think I'm gonna go invest in a new needle. Anyway, so finally back on. Yeah, so this is a 2010 album, re-released in I think 19. No, doesn't say. The 2010 album. So this is newer. And the one I wanted, Surrender, is from 1999. This is the 20th anniversary. It has a thing, a tassel, so that when you open the box. Oh, it's so crisp. Oh my god, it's like vacuumed. Yeah, that's the details about it. I don't know if you can see that. How do you do this? It's so shiny. I'll just read them. It goes, Surrender, transparent double vinyl, secret psychedelic mixes, previously unreleased, Glastonbury 2000 film and promo videos, curated B-sides and remixes, 28-page book, 4 art prints, download voucher for the digital copy. This is class act. Like, dude. You know? Like, dude. Oh, jeez. There. It pulls them all out for you. And like, inside, it's like the DVD's recessed. This is more than I could have ever expected. Anyway, so I haven't listened to the remixes yet. Or the other remixes yet. I haven't messed with the digital copy yet. That's why you buy things. This is my copy now. This is a one-of-a-kind, owned. And if something happens to it, it's because I did it. Anyway. I just find it funny that I said to myself, I want to go out, and we can't wait for record stores to open, so like, they give you the sleeves that they came in originally, but they're also in like the primo sleeves. I mean, it's out of control. This whole thing was like amazing. So this is another one I highly recommend you check out. I mean, if you want to go 0 to 60, clean the whole house and make dinner. So that's story time. All right. Yeah. Last time was 8:30. This time it's 9:15. So, what I found today, what I discovered today. I'm gonna stop and cut it with a new video. So what I found today is that I was looking at this today because it's been done like 2 days ago. I finally put the rest of it together everywhere, and it's double layered. You can tell by the end. I had enough egg crates that I actually was able to put another row in. I don't know if I have another one to put another whole row, but I think I'm good. I'm looking at it going like, remember I wanted to make a reckoner there? Yeah, here. Does that work? Is that, yeah. So, I'm like wondering what kind of grid do I have in my ceiling. So remember I find little fancy eurekas, like when I was cutting that piece to go from there to there, I found out that if you need a 58-inch piece out of an 8-foot 2x4, you're left with 38-inch piece. 38/58. Right? And I always thought I'd have a 9x9 reckoner on the top or something, but I found something different sitting here. Alright, so this is important. 1, it's a 1, that blue 1, of 1, of 7, of 13, of 110, of 2143. Apparently that's my ceiling. Okay, reason. How do I film this? Because it goes from here to here, and then that stuff there is not the full length, I'm gonna call from here across and down, that is gonna be that one chunk. That'll be one of the ones. The second one, I will take one of these rows and go all the way down to make a big ass one. So you have a 1 of 1. Now what you're left with, if you get rid of that one, is you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Top row only. And then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's a 1 of 1 of 7 of 13. So the way I see the ceiling is basically like, okay, we talked about our 13 times 7. That's part of it. That's the 91. But that corner there, there should be one there. I forgot to put it, but I can. I just forgot to go in the corner. So that should be covered. But over here, you're missing like 3. Because if this one's here, you're going to be missing 1, 2 full ones and the one on top. So your 13 times 7 is your 91. Minus 3 is your 88. So there's 88 tiles in that 13 by 7 chunk of ceiling. Now, there's also that row, that 1, which is 13 long. It's a 1 by 13. And then in this little caveat here, you have a 6 and an 8 and a 6. And that sums to 14. So 13 and 14 is 27. 27 and 88 is 115. Element 115. And that's what you see on the top layer. But you see in the back there, there's a little bit of the bottom layer showing. Because you have to like, see the finger holes for the egg crates? To cover it from hitting the thing, you have to offset the layers. And then you want to put the same type of layer touching each other so they fit together nice. So basically, what I see is there's 10. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not really there. 10 divided by 2 because only half, so there's like 5 whole tiles that are showing on the bottom layer, and you have 115 on top. Now who's to say that, in a way, it could be 120, but also it could be 110. Not only that, but instead of we take the 13 solo and the 13 times 8 instead, 13 times 8 for the main portion of my ceiling comes to 104, minus the 3 from that corner is 101, and that kind of looks like a lot of 110 going on. So, yeah. My ceiling depicts a 1 of 7 of 13 of 110. And the 2143 is always really hard to do, so I don't want to do it right now. But, I mean, come on, guy. It's 2 layers. I had to cut 1 hole in it for the light. 4 parts. There's this little part, the 1, the 7x13, and then all the extra bits. I don't know, 2143, man. How many dimples are there, maybe? On the 2 layers of all the combined tiles, 2143, how many dimples per tile? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's minor and major dimples. It's 6x5, but it could also, yeah, anyway. That's what it is to be an observer. I didn't mean to do that. I literally didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to cut 2x4 and understand that it was 3858. So, that's what I do. Is that a synchronicity? Give me the word for what I just did. Totally random activity. Congruently random, which is cool. So, I don't know. I think we should all be seekers, or searchers, or not of truth, because truth is just 3858, and what a day. What a 24 hours. Anyways, I got a lot of potting to do. I'm blown away by that. I'm 2143. Who cares? I see a 1 of 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 on my ceiling. And the reason I put it there is to dampen the sound, because it creates more surface area, okay? You have a lot of mass. When that's all stacked, like a big ass stack, and you lift it up, there's got some weight to it. Now I took all that weight and hung it from my ceilings with these little pins. And it's doing just fine. Not only 1 layer, but 2 layers, because where the finger holes are, it goes right to the ceiling. I want to cover it. So that's why I cut 1 in half and then offset them and tiled them. And I even reversed them. I put one way and put 1 the other way, so that the same ways are connected. So there's an air gap, there's tons of surface area. If you were to stretch it out, how much surface area is in this room, it would be way bigger than this room, which is the whole part of dampening. I'm trying to get sound. Sound's awesome, by the way. Like by even talking, I can hear myself strangely. And this is the Maxell chair, guy. I have to remember to put a Maxell picture here. Oh, the cassette tape Maxell guy. This is literally the Maxell chair. I don't know what to say. Like, it's my leg. It's just basically like those bass speakers are right at your like perfect ear level. And when you move forwards and backwards in the chair, you can find the sweet spot. And you can't share the sweet spot with anything. Okay, the sweet spot in the middle of that device. We're in a cluster of them. Planet 9. What does that mean? Every time we make a little unit like this, in the center of that is that one of the planets in the Milky Way galaxy, which is the lab in which all of those little balls are going. Okay, now it's, again, a cube has 6 faces and 8 vertices. If you were to recess the vertices, instead of having pointy, if you were to push them down in 45s, you're 6 and 8. Your 6 and 8 is right there. Your 6 and 8 is 14. It's right there. The second line of the rectangle, the one I call Armageddon, is 1, 4, 5, 6, 0. 14 is just the sum of 6 and 8, and it's 14 and 5. And that 5 is how many dimensions of those 14. There's 14 wheels. Axles. The 14 axles turning, because there's lots of wheels on this. And the game is how, I don't have it figured out, but how do you take one wire, one big long spool of copper, and start winding solenoid? Like, I'm going to take cellular energy unit 1, face A, prong alpha, 400 reps. Then you got to find out, where does it go next? Do you start on a vertice? Do you start on a face? Do you go to a vertice? Do you go to a face? Do you go to the next one on the same unit? Do you go to a different unit? That's what's going to tell us this. Just think of a bunch of drills, battery drills, and if you connect chuck to chuck and you turn one, theoretically, if you use the solenoid in the second drill, you're charging it by turning it. And if you were able to make a matrix of other solenoids, that this one would power one, which would power many, and in the end, what I think this math and this philosophy and this architecture and this cellular schematic does is there'll eventually be the wire at the end, when you're at the end of the spool, comes back to the first device and is now the input. Because you have to physically do work at the beginning. But once you charge it, like, I mean, again, if the alien that created the battery or the device that we are in is sitting on a bike turning an axle or something, it slowly starts to create a central bubble. The bubble evolves in time as things speed up. Other things start moving in different places as time goes on. Sooner or later, all the wheels are spinning slowly, and they're all ramping up as slow and steady wins the race, because it'll take momentum. And then they'll be like, maybe you'll hit 88 miles an hour and go back to the future. You hit that time, and that's when the more energy you put in to this, the more energy is going into the earth you're creating. And the more energy that goes into the earth you're creating, the more it evolves. And time is on a different scale in your world to their world. And you have to have the faith that by you making this machine to create a new world, that when you're pedaling, they're evolving through time faster, way faster than you are. And once you hit that spark of energy that makes it self-sufficient, sustaining, you know that they have put together this device and did the same thing, and they're waiting on their bubble to get it, make the device, make energy, and then they'll have it, but it'll take time. I mean, time is just how much time does it take to get to the point where we're ready to actually start physically constructing this. I'm not even sure I know exactly how to construct it, but I have definitely a good idea, and like tons of modeling. Like, you're gonna have to make lots of parts and toss them, but the ability to make said parts and to model it better model, just start with that. 5 models. Maybe take something and just kind of link it together with string to make them look like maybe what it should look like. Space them out where you kind of think they need to be in a room. A laboratory. So, I don't know why I was talking about it. Yeah, my ceiling's weird. Everyone told me that once I get this up, that you're going to feel claustrophobic. I don't feel claustrophobic. I feel like it sounds amazing. And it's amazing how I made the observations that I did this morning over coffee. Does it mean I'm going to fix the world? No. It's a synchronicity that makes me think that I'm still on the right track. Like, the universe is unfolding as it should. You've probably heard that before. The reckoner is a bunch of layers of math. To make this work, you gotta unfold it. The only way we can do that is if you and I verse. People with the right aptitude start versing and tackling the Sudoku of life, the meaning of life, the meaning of 3858. So yeah. I'm gonna have to move, man. I could feel it. I could feel it.